In his defense, me and Derek re-edit our move list every month anyway, so it's perfect.
Just plan 4 months in advance. All right, I'm just going to leave this slot empty for 4 months until
this could be a generic uppercut for now. It'll be very European in a couple months, though.
I like all my moves, because all my moves are going to be moves that I'm getting from the DLC, so all my moves are just going to be the 5-knuckle shuffle. And that's it. I'm just going to hit the one move of doom until the DLC comes out.
Every other wrestler's going to be like, God damn it, I don't want to wrestle Derek. He's going to phone this one in again. He's going to do the vertical suplex 5-knuckle shuffle combo he does every match.
And still my favorite conversation ever is Truth Martini got injured, so he couldn't bump. And not bumping is a big deal, especially when you got to take on somebody who doesn't bump. You take a fall and you take a hit, and because he injured his neck, he couldn't do that, or else he would possibly be paralyzed or some other bad stuff. Now, when he always used to tell people, hey, I can't bump, everyone would be like, oh, I gotta wrestle with somebody who can't bump. So then he meets Colt Cabana for the first time. Colt Cabana, the host of The Art of Wrestling, CM Punk's best friend, some other random stuff. He's a professional wrestler. Anyways, Truth Martini goes up to Colt Cabana and goes, hey, Colt, so I'm not gonna bump this match. And Colt Cabana looks him straight in the eye and goes, well, fuck it, neither am I. And then they wrestled an entire 10-plus minute match, and not one of them took one bump, and it was still a really good match.
By the way, thank you, Jordan, for having him explain some of the words that he was using.
I was also saying slow down the whole time, because I get that excited and speed up also. Summary of the story, a guy couldn't fall on his head. Another guy said, well, fine, I'm not falling on my head. They wrestled 10 minutes and still sold it.
Krista was saying that, too, that Krista, my fiance, the one person that listens to all the podcasts, even before I do. She listened to the 5th one. I haven't got the chance to do that yet. But apparently, Jordan and I talk too fast, and no one can understand us except for Krista, and also, we use too many inside jokes. Do we use too many inside jokes?
I don't think we use too many inside jokes. The humor's just probably not translating that well.
Shifty D's not an inside joke. We made that up here. Calling you Play-Doh's not an inside joke. I made that up last week.
That is true, yeah.
Yeah.
And not like the smart Play-Doh either, like the soft Play-Doh.
On the podcast, all we're doing is inside jokes from the podcast.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
so
I want to go back to something you said, month-to-month DLC.
Yeah.
I really love when games do that, like with Alan Wake and the episodes that came out after that.
Oh, yeah, that was really nice.
I love when they take a game and they add on more meaningful content to it.
I know where Bruce is about to go.
He knows exactly where I'm about to go.
Halo has week-to-week co-op downloads.
So Spartan Ops.
We're done. That's all.
Wait, have you heard anything about it?
We can give it to you. You're good.
Okay,
did we get all WWE 13 in we wanted for now? I think that's good for now.
Not at the moment, but if
sure you'll go back to it.
We'll find a way.
No. But if everyone wants to hear more about wrestling, all you have to do is tell me on my Facebook that you want to hear more of the podcast. By the way, Derek Draven's Bell to Bell Wrestling Talk podcast. Also,
Jordan just licked the hair gel out of your hair.
By the way,
trying to make Derek break.
By the way, Derek Draven's Bell to Bell podcast is going to be up here pretty soon. We did the first one. It also had this guy over here, Jordan Stein, and Nicholas Van Haver. I screwed up when I said his name in the podcast because I wasn't breathing and I was going too fast.
Van Haver.
Yeah, so if you enjoy that, then just tell me that you want more, and we will feed you more.
Is that a Ryback reference? That's a horrible thing to do.
Yeah, well, we talked a lot about how much we disliked the whole Ryback thing during the podcast. So, yeah, just let me know, and then I'll talk about the game, and I'll talk about all sorts of wrestling stuff. I'll also beat the crap out of Jordan, and you'll be able to hear it. Not see it, but you can hear it.
So, Jordan, Spartan Ops, what have you heard?
Everything Bruce has told me about Spartan Ops, which is...
Really? You've heard nothing?
Go, Bruce.
Okay, so Spartan Ops is...
I've literally only heard you say it right there. I didn't know it was a thing.
Well, I know that you don't like hearing stuff about games beforehand.
That's true.
It's the name of the weekly co-op downloads, right?
Yeah. Spartan Ops is... Yeah.
He's about to explain it. You don't have to give me the face, dude.
No, I love that idea because I love co-op. Co-op downloads.
Right, exactly.
I'm already sold.
That's the only reason I'm getting Halo 4.
Is Spartan Ops. But,
yes.
Spartan Ops is going to be the Spartan Force from the USNC's Infinity. That's the name of the warship that they have in this one. There's going to be Spartan 4s on it, and they go off and do missions, and those missions are going to be the Spartan Ops missions. From what 343 has said, it sounds kind of like it's going to start off with Spartan Ops taking place a little bit before the story, and then working their way into the story.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I also have to give hats off to 343 for some of the stuff that they've been putting out as sort of teasers to Halo 4. They put out something called the Jewel Madama trailer, which makes no sense to two people in the room right now, because that's a character from the books. And when I saw that, having read Thursday War, which is the book that just came out,
I'm assuming you geeked. Because
I was
I
very
would have.
happy.
Yeah,
I was
because
very, very
if
happy.
there was, that inside thing, I'm assuming we all have that feeling where if there's something that and not a lot of people do, you do the jumpy thing.
Also, in that trailer, the elites, they don't just go wart anymore.
Dude, I miss that. You don't even understand. I miss wart.
They still go wart. By the way, do you know how they got the wart?
They just backwards all the human vocals, yeah.
It was Johnson saying go, go, go.
Yeah, wart.
But no, they kind of sounds like an Asian language. But that's sort of what they've been modeling elite culture off of anyways, was Asian culture. Which is kind of funny when you think about the humans trying to do genocide and...
Yeah, we don't... Do we have prison camps for the... for the elites?
Actually, they're in the book Thursday War. They talk about a prisoner of
Is it
war.
because they bombed one of our harbors by chance, Bruce?
We call that Harbor Earth.
Oh, they bombed Earth Harbor.
But yeah, when I saw that character, I squealed and went, "Oh my god, that dude! How the fuck did he get there?" Because he's a character in this latest book, and at the end of it, he wasn't in a position to be where he is in the trailer that they released for him, and so I'm kind of I know the next novel's not going to come out before Halo 4 because the last novel came out a couple weeks ago. Actually, I think a week ago as of the recording here, but. So I know the next novel's not going to come out to bridge that, so I'm going to have to guess at how he got to where he is and how important of a character he's going to be.
Two important things here. One, just as I've been having fun beating Bruce over the head with, I don't care how right your book was, because as soon as Halo 4 comes out, it's wrong. And two, I never realized how incredibly broken Bruce's nose is. It goes like all the way off to one side.
Yep, it got broke twice, and it had to bend the same direction each time. So it curves pretty good.
And yet I still feel like it fits on his face better than Adam's does.
Well, it's...
This is the second week in a row Derek's tried to make it bash Adam because he's not here week, and we just don't go along with it in an effort to make Derek seem like a dick.
Well, okay, two things. One, I am a dick.
Three.
Yeah. Two things. Yeah, one, I am a dick, and two, the only every other time that you get the chance and we're not being recorded, you're talking shit and you're talking shit about everybody who's not here.
Let's not make up slanderous things about people, Derek. This is
that's
horrible.
very horrible to do.
Yeah.
Just because you're being recorded,
All right.
you have to slander
All right,
people.
fuck it. Make me the bad guy. Whatever. I'm the heel. Adam, I hate your stupid fucking nose. Why don't you get your ass over here and I'll pile drive you with your head in my pants.
I think everybody here but Derek has kind of a messed up looking nose, so like...
I am pretty fucking handsome, right?
You're a bread butt?
Bread butt? What the hell's a bread butt?
It's the heel. The heel of the loaf is...
Is that so in professional wrestling all the bad guys are called bread butts now?
Well, I only know heel from two spots. My anatomy and
Well,
the end of a loaf of bread is called the heel.
well, then here comes your wrestling terminology lesson.
Today's wrestling term brought to you by Derek Draven is heel.
I thought it was bump, or the other word that he brought up.
Shut up, Bruce. The word is heel.
The word is heel, and that means a villain, a bad guy. That's pretty much it.
Commonly used in the professional wrestling universe.
Yeah, only
The
not.
more you know.
And in case
A
it comes
star
up,
goes up.
in case it comes up, Brucey Poo, babyface
Wait, Brucey
and
Poo?
or face.
Am I
Which is
related
short for
to George?
baby face.
Yes.
I'm related to Georgie Poo.
Yeah,
Poo,
a
son of
baby
Georgie
face
Poo.
or a face is a good guy.
It's
Why don't they
because
just name
no
him
one
Hero?
can resist a baby face. That is the reference, Bruce.
No.
I'm not sure where heel comes from. Do you know where that comes from? Is it just because it's the opposite part of your body from your face?
Maybe. But then where would tweener come from? Which, by the way, is
It's
the...
got wiener in it. It's like halfway.
It makes perfect sense. Yeah, a tweener as in between babyface and heel.
So a normal person.
Pretty much.
Yeah, a person who doesn't need a job in professional wrestling.
Basically Stone Cold always.
Except he was amazing, so that's not a good...
No, it's perfect. He was a tweener. Even though everyone loved him, he was still kind of an asshole.
Actually, he was a complete asshole. People just loved him for that. So he was still, like, in my opinion, a heel. Just a great one that everybody loved.
He was the heel.
Bringing
you wanted to
wrestling
love.
from Halo. See, I can do it too.
Yeah, we can go back. We can go both ways.
I'd like to point out that I brought up
Yeah.
heel that got this whole conversation going.
So you think they're going to have wrestling in Halo 4? Just appease both of us?
Yes, they will.
It'd be amazing. Just
You've
give a
seen
guy...
the assassinations. I'm pretty sure they're going to have quick time
I mean, they
events.
did it in RE6. Why not just throw, like, a DDT into Halo and be good to go?
Well, apparently, that's just going to... If you throw DDTs into stuff and elbow drops and all this crazy shit, you just end up getting 4 out of 10s. That's what happens.
That is what happened to Resident Evil. I got to give Bruce this one. I think he...
Oh, speaking of that, I love Borderlands. I love everything about Borderlands, but, and here's the big but.
Is it the DLC?
No, there wasn't enough Tiny Tina, and after I found one of the guns that I found, could never find it again. So because of that, and the fact that I could never really enjoy it because there was so much distraction because my family was doing, this or that, or Derek kept talking during cutscenes, I'm giving it a 1.5 out of 10.
That sounds reasonable.
That sounds really reasonable, right?
Yeah, I had the same problems with that game. I love everything about it. I can't think of any faults at all with the game. But then the DLC comes out, and that's great too. So fuck this game. 1 out of 10. That's how reviews go nowadays.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with Resident Evil. It was a great game. They gave us everything they said that they were going to give us. So, rate it pretty bad. Now,
they gave us, a storyline that's all about the zombies, which is what, half the audience wanted. Then they gave us a storyline that's all about the new shit, which is what the other half of the audience wanted. And then there was Chris's storyline.
That's a solid 4.5 out of 10 right there.
Right,
Now, let's not pretend like Chris's storyline was that super awesome. Because I'm not finished with it, and I still don't like any part of it. So unless at the very end...
It was pretty bad.
I knew it was going to be bad. I mean, I saw from the demo that we did and posted on YouTube/Great Amalgamation when AJ was playing.
On YouTube/The Great Amalgamation.
Fine, I talk super fast.
It's super sexy.
Oh.
You know what?
Break when I do that.
I'm giving you that one. Super sexy. I'll take it.
I actually have a record. Anyways, just keep going with what you were saying.
AJ was playing Chris's storyline, and it didn't excite me the way that the other two that I saw did. Mm-hmm. I mean, I just thought that it was trying to cater to the people who like Call of Duty, and I was going to say and Modern Warfare, but I realized those are, I think...
They are the same thing,
game.
yes.
Yeah, whatever.
Call of Duty, Modern Warfare.
Yeah,
This is
whatever.
supposed to be a different
I
shooting
dislike
experience,
those.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be different than those games.
Yeah, and that's fine. And for people who really enjoy it, good for them. And, good thing that they've got that.
I'm sure there's people who Chris's storyline is their favorite thing, and Leon's storyline is their least favorite.
And I'm not going to hate him for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and my thoughts are, and I probably will like his because I do like that style of gameplay, but I will dislike it for the same reason that, like, Resident Evil it's a different shooter for the fact that it is different. Like, if all shooters were the same experience, then it really would there wouldn't be a lot of point in buying this game. You just get Call of Duty at that point.
Well, luckily there's Ada's storyline, Leon's storyline, and Jake's storyline if you don't want to play Chris style.
And generic zombie storyline.
Yeah, except if you want Ada's storyline, you do have to play Chris's storyline.
That is true.
And if you're me, because of a glitch that thought I played half the game on normal, even though I was in co-op, you get to play Leon's twice.
You just have to beat the storylines. The only thing that playing on professional gets you is less ammo, higher damage.
No, I know, I get that, but I literally didn't get Agent Hunt mode, which means I have to do something to get that to count before I can get Ada eventually. We can't explain it, but yeah, it glitched.
Yeah, we beat it, and I got Agent Hunt mode, and he didn't. We played all of it together. So.
Yeah, and like the first half, like when we went to start again, it said I had beat it on normal mode, and I could only host games on normal, and I was like, well, that doesn't make sense. We've been co-op the whole time, and mine says professional, and there's nowhere to set that. And then we beat the game, and it's like, now it says I beat it on professional, but I don't get Agent Hunt mode.
That's kind of weird. Yeah, it was kind of funny.
Made me cry.
I was playing Agent Hunt mode. I was like, oh,
you guys are just going to brag about that all the time. Like, dude, you should get on Agent Hunt mode. This is wicked badass.
No.
Just join us.
So I was recording me playing Agent Hunt mode, and I thought while I was recording it, oh, this will look good for the video. And then I started compiling the video for Agent Hunt mode, and I'm like, God, I was playing this tactically. This is me hiding and then dashing in at the right
That's
moment.
not what zombies would do.
Exactly. I'm like, wow, I am the anti-zombie. I'm hiding. Like literally 10 seconds of that video is me hiding behind a pillar going, and this is me being a pussy. Fuck.
Zombie afraid of brains.
I was just hiding. I felt so horrible when I realized that that's all I was doing. Also, have you actually played a round of Agent Hunt mode?
No.
I
Okay.
obviously have not either.
Well, we know you haven't, Jordan.
Shut up, stop here.
Shut up, it's not fair. All right.
It took me 15 minutes to get into a game. I was searching for somebody to let me in. Also, I hear people don't like Agent Hunt mode because it's something new that you can do.
One of them newfangled Agent Hunt modes.
You can turn it off while
Yeah.
you're playing, so
And
I see no reason for
I
people
think
to not
that's
like it.
why that may be why it took you so long to get into a game, because not a lot of people are doing it. Because I'm not doing it when I'm online, but once I beat the storyline,
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn it on. Like if I go to play it again, I'll turn it on.
I
Whatever.
absolutely agree. That's the same way because I want that experience the first time, and then the next time, whatever.
Yeah.
I beat this game. Like
Yeah,
when I
I-
finish Leon, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I turned off the ability for Xbox Live people to join me now, and people to join in Agent Hunt mode until I get my first playthroughs through, and then when I'm going back through the game, I'm fine with that. I just don't want a tainted experience the first time.
So it'll probably be more of a thing later on once people are just
I hope so.
replaying it, assuming
It's
that the
cool.
game gets a lot of replay, which it should, I would think.
Well, I don't know. It is a piece of shit that's fucking amazing.
Yeah, at 4.5, that means you'll get about 4.5 days of replay action.
I'd like to point out that's just one of the reviews that we saw. I saw a review that gave it a 2. I saw a review. The highest review I've seen for that game was an 8.
So then from now on, the scale's out of 8, you're saying?
I'm gonna say the
Got an 8
scale's out of
4.
5.
You got an 8 out of 5? That makes sense to me.
I think an 8 is maybe a little too reason. I think I'd give it a 7.5, like max.
I give it a 2.
Jordan loved
I-
once
no,
again. Jordan
I-
loved
I-
everything about it. Gives it a 2.
Yep.
I
best game ever
saw
played,
I saw
2.
a review that gave it a 2. I saw a review that gave it 0.5 out of 10. What the fuck? What game is so bad that it deserves a 0.5 out of 10?
I'm going to go a little...
Superman 64.
I'm going to give you a little
No,
history
I don't
lesson
even
on this.
think Superman 64 is that bad. You could at least turn it on and save.
You know, the only thing I think got worse reviews is when they did Medal of Honor Rising Sun. They actually debuted that at TGS, and there was nobody at the booth. For those of you who don't know, the whole game was against the Japanese. So
Wait, Rising Sun was all about the Japanese?
it was about Pearl Harbor and the events after that, and they debuted it in TGS, which is Tokyo Game Show. And people there were like, "That was my grandpa. Why
Well,
would I play this?"
I think that might also be the fact that nobody in Japan plays first-person shooters.
I'm pretty sure it's more because the whole game is about shooting their grandparents. I'm just gonna say.
Well, the only reason I bring that up is because I saw a video from the latest Tokyo Game Show where people they had a booth set up for the latest Medal of Honor, and nobody was there. The booth was empty.
That's probably still the result of Rising Sun.
Microsoft didn't have a booth at all. There was no Xbox presence at all there. That's how different the Japanese game scene is.
We love us some Famicom.
All they do is play JRPGs and
Cooking Mama's Kitchen.
portable games. That's it.
So we can segue into Jordan playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
I read this awesome wannabe game. Somebody wanted to see a mixture of Cooking Mama's Cook-Off
And Pokemon?
and Pokemon.
I do now, too.
Because, as you go through the
I
the
wonder what a
Pokemon world.
Charmander tastes like.
Because you go through the Pokemon world and there are no other animals other than Pokemon, and it is fact that they do eat Pokemon. So why not, splash in some Cooking Mama Cook-Off? So
But
you
it's
can,
mostly Miltank.
so you can really, slice up, like you said, slice up a Charmander. I think some of the humanoid Pokemon would be really weird.
Oh, I
Like-
would eat a Mr. Mime whole.
I was just gonna say Mr. Mime.
I'm not touching a Jinx with a 10-foot pole, but
You know where she's been.
it's with somebody's 10-foot pole.
And then you got your Ditto as a delicacy.
Oh, slurp that up.
How do you eat
It's like,
a
mystery
golem?
meal. Like it looks
Ooh,
like
ooh,
goo,
you know what'd be good?
tastes like any Pokemon.
So take Ditto and boil Ditto for a little bit here. Then Then
add some parsley.
wait. Once you got your Ditto boiling, and Ditto starts rendering.
Let it simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes.
Right. So you're rendering out a little bit of the fat of the Ditto. So then take your Tangela, put it in a wok over low heat. Get those
delectable.
noodles nice and seared. Once you get them seared, bring in your Ditto sauce, ladle it in there slowly while stirring. Stir it for about 2 minutes, then hit with the char sauce.
Some char sauce, yeah. You got to get the German char sauce.
I really want that.
That needs to be a cooking show.
The thing people don't realize is Ditto is the chicken of the Pokemon world. It just tastes like what you cook it in. So that's how that works. No, but speaking of Pokemon crossovers, actually, before I go into the new Pokemon game, I also got a game a little while ago, Pokemon Conquest. I don't know if you heard about it. I thought it was a pretty cool concept. Like, it was a crossover between Pokemon and a Japanese war game. So I thought that was a great concept to begin with. And the way it kind of worked is it's actually like a really popular series in Japan that they went off of. And it's never been released here, so I don't know any of the characters. But I like the concept because you don't get Pokemon in that. You actually get slaves who own one Pokemon apiece. So like they just suck up to you so bad, which is amazing. They brown nose you, and they have Pokemon. So you'll build an army of like one type. You'll take a castle or a fortress that's grass, and you just build a fire army.
Wait, so a lot of people it's mostly retarded parents who look at Pokemon and go, that's essentially cockfighting.
No, it's still not like it's not.
I'm just saying,
bad. It's still child friendly.
You have these slaves who take their animals and go cockfighting. Is what you just
said. I have an army of cockfighting slaves in that game. And I never finished it. Like, I probably will eventually. I just haven't had a lot of time. But no, it was a fun game. It wasn't like as amazing as I hoped, but the concept was great and it was enjoyable trying to build an army to take a castle and just based off type alone.
I'm still waiting for the 3D Pokemon game. That's going to make.
Yeah, when are they going to do that?
I don't know why they won't just do it, because they're Nintendo probably, and they just
they don't even make 3DS ones. They're all still DS games, the Pokemon games.
Mm-hmm. I know. It's just, I mean, the black and white have like pseudo 3D moments. But
yeah, they do look nice. I'll give them that. But
it's in a 3D world. It is in a 3D world that uses occasional sprites.
Well, actually, what I've always wanted to see is a 3D Pokemon game, but I figure like if they're gonna do
they can do it Dragon Quest.
Well,
style,
if they're gonna do it on a next gen console, no, I would like them to keep the same theme, but like they could really throw in a lot of nice side missions like Pokemon Snap and things like that. Give you a lot of the breeding. Like if they had an online store where you could just pay for Pokemon, you would take the time to breed really good ones and like go through all the systems they have to make them really high quality. And I think that would be a fun experience, just trying to breed and sell.
Well, walk into a restaurant and do a Pokemon Mama
have cooking and like be a chef. Go find yourself. Someone raised this thing as from a baby because everyone knows 100s taste better. Actually, no. What's best is when you just use XP shares, so they're still fat, nice and fat like veal. You don't want them to get any actual fighting in, or they'll get too much muscle, and then it's just you don't want that.
That's the Kobe beef of the Pokemon world.
You got to raise them in the daycare where they don't get any actual field experience.
They're petted once a day, regardless of if they're actually awake and conscious, because you know how they get. You know how they get when they're in the daycare. Am I right?
Yeah, and make sure none of them know Flash, because they've got to be in perfect darkness the whole time.
I need a price check on the ass end of a Taurus.
That was an inside joke, Derek. So go ahead and explain inside joke.
All right, so I'm at work today. I fucking hate work. Anyways,
you hate work?
Yeah, I know.
I actually enjoy my job.
See, and
I love the fact that I don't have to deal with people.
I love that I don't do Derek's job at work. That's my biggest
favorite thing. Me too.
All right, so anyways, I need a price check on a piece of meat. I didn't look at what it was. I just called the meat department. And then I turn it around and say, I need a price check. And then I look and it says butt portion ham. So I could have said, I need a price check on butt portion ham. But you know what sounded even better? Is I need a price check on the ass end of a pig. Which I thought was hilarious. And so did the guy who was buying it, but definitely not his wife.
He's got one of those wives. I'm sorry for
All right. So anyway, sorry, Bruce. Finish your joke. Your bad pun.
It's okay.
That's lost its timing.
Let's get back to
Pokemon White 2.
Dose.
Yeah, so I was playing Pokemon White 2. It basically takes place like 2 years after the other games, and you see some of the characters in there really early on. But
do you see N a lot?
I saw his name pop up like in the strategy guide, which I got specifically because it was hardcover and looked cool, and I won't use it to cheat through the game, but I did like look at the breeding thing, which was kind of nice.
How can you really cheat through Pokemon?
Yeah, I know it's pretty freaking linear.
You still have to catch them and train them while going in the set
I do use it
path.
once in a while just to kind of see like what because they tell you a lot about like the breeding and stuff, which I always just find interesting in those games. I thought it was a really cool system they didn't make big enough. But So far I'm like to the third town, but it's got, and they said this before, it's got like from square one, you'll catch Pokemon from all the games, unlike in White, which I did like, where it was just all new ones.
I loved that about White.
Yeah,
that was my favorite thing.
Yeah, but in White too, I am glad that they did this too, because it makes sense now. It's the same land. They've added a few more towns. You actually start in towns that weren't there before.
Oh, and you make your way onto the map.
So there's like 3 towns, and then you get in there, and then you can see some other ones off to the side. So it's like a bigger map, and the way it's set up, I'm guessing you'll have a choice of which way you go or something. 'Cause, I mean, it had that circle before, but the way I'm looking, there's just so many routes you could go. So I mean, that's nice about it. I thought they've done a good job. And sorry, Bruce, you got something?
Well, before we move on, I want to jump back to the way that White approached it.
Okay.
Literally, most of the generations of Pokemon, I've played through them. I've played through Emerald.
Mm-hmm.
I've played through Gold. I've played through every single generation that has come out. But other than Generation 1, this generation with White and Black is the generation that I remember the most.
Yeah.
And I credit that to the fact that we didn't have the old ones there.
I
had to learn them.
And I didn't, and we just...
It felt like a new experience.
And we didn't look things up or research or anything like that. So it felt like when you first got the game and you're like, what the crap is this? This looks cool. You didn't realize until later that you had picked a shitty Pokemon. Like I had what's his face? He evolves into Purloin.
Oh.
I thought he looked cool. I'm like, he's a dark type. I like dark types. And I realized by the end, like, I had him such a high level. He's like 5 higher than anybody else. And he just got crushed still. I'm like, this was a bad investment.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
I still haven't found any Pokemon that I like that isn't part of the original, like the first generation.
Yeah.
But that may be because I don't own a portable console. So I haven't been able to play some of the newer ones.
They're
so
good.
if any of you have like the White and can offer to give me
If you have a DS, basically, that's a
don't.
problem.
Well, I mean, you'll have to. Pokemon still has that only one
save file.
per cartridge.
That's the annoying
Oh,
part.
that's true.
But does it save? It saves to SD card, doesn't it, or does it do cartridge?
They don't have.
It doesn't write to the cartridge.
I remember in Yellow they had at least 3.
No, they did not in
No.
Yellow. They had 1.
They have never had more than 1.
I disagree.
Are you playing the emulator? Because maybe that's been hacked.
Maybe I don't know.
Because I had Yellow, and trust me,
No.
Maybe not.
no,
it's always
that's
been-
definite nuh-uhs.
It's been a while since the first time
All right,
because
so-
I was too
Yeah,
poor.
but I
Bruce was on
I
something.
will associate the fact that I didn't like any of the newer ones up until this generation with the fact that I knew that I could get my old favorites. So I'm like, all right, you're filling up this roster, but
Until I get to here, yeah.
But I know that I want Jolteon here, and I want this here, and so
Yeah.
I already had my roster thought of because I knew that I could eventually get my Gen 1 Pokemon.
That's all that gets mentioned is Jolteon.
Jolteon was my boy in the first one. Not Charizard, not
Charizard? Is that a Power Ranger
I
Zord?
said Charizard.
You said Charizard,
Okay, Charizard.
which sounds badass.
Dude, I would want to be the Charizard if I was a Power Ranger.
yeah, mine was Raichu. So
But mine was Jolteon because of Pin Missile, because I had an awesome, really, really fucking fast electric type that knew Pin Missile, and online everybody fucking used Mewtwo.
So here's the thing. Just since
Everybody
we're all
let off with
since we're all
Mewtwo.
talking our favorite, mine was the absolute lamest. I loved Farfetch. Can't explain it. I think it was my reasoning. He had a weapon, and it was an onion, so it's gonna make you cry. And I just loved that. I wanted to say a couple things
The
though.
idea that you liked that Pokemon is a little...
Farfetch.
oh, I knew it was coming.
Hold on,
So-
I had a couple points on what Bruce was saying before we move on. So can you remember yours pretty hard? Yeah. So he was saying like he liked the new generation. There were 2 things I want to go on that. The one before this I didn't play any of, but basically just looking at the Pokemon and even ones I caught in the game from that. And basically the ones I caught that I could tell were from like the 3rd generation or whatever, the ones after Gold and Silver essentially. You catch them and you hate them automatically, and then you look at your Pokedex and you're like, that explains it. That was a horrible.
You're like, that's from Emerald, obvious
Yeah.
shit.
Like the Ruby and Sapphire. I didn't like those. But another thing that was nice about it is once you beat the game in White or Black, and it's kind of a spoiler, but you kind of saw it coming, you go around and you have to do like an after quest thing like you did in a lot of the games, except they're like, here, we're going to update your Pokedex. Now you can catch all of them from all the games. And then you feel good because I had like 75% of my Pokedex like actually captured at that point, or at least seen. And I was super proud of that. And then they're like, all right, your Pokedex has been updated. Here are 660 odd Pokemon you have to find and catch. And not only that, but you can dive where you've been. You can go up waterfalls. You can go anywhere. And I'm like,
The world in
Discouraging.
white and black is actually really, really big.
And you don't realize it till you beat it, and they let you go outward in places you just walked by because it was deep water or whatever, and you're like, son of a bitch.
You were so busy, trudging story.
Because it had a good story. It did, and it kept you in it.
I actually really liked the story because that story was
Epic.
It seemed like it was set up for not quite our generation, but 16, 17-year-olds at least.
Yeah.
Because it was
still family friendly, but yeah, it was cool.
They brought up an issue that, people kind of go that like Pokemon has this sort of like dark storyline beneath it if you pay attention
that we trap and fight animals, yeah. Well,
no, not even that. A lot of the storylines, especially for the Generation 1, Cubone.
That was dark, yeah. The whole Marowak Cubone thing. Derek with an evolved Cubone or Kangaskhan on his keychain here.
I tell this story all the time.
Yeah,
too.
tell people the mythology of the Cubone.
Okay, so Cubone. Now look at Kangaskhan, and you can't see it, but I have my keychain, my Burger King keychain that I got when I was a kid, and was super excited that I get to use.
I'm super excited you got to use it.
Google image this right now, and you'll see what we're talking about.
All right, now in the pouch of Kangaskhan is this baby, what you would think Kangaskhan, but this baby Kangaskhan is Cubone. Now, Cubone becomes Cubone when the mother dies. Cubone takes the skull, puts it on his head, grabs a bone, and is able to use that, and then goes and searches for his mother.
There's even more to that, actually. There's a couple things. Like, in the first Pokemon, you find M, I think it is, in the tower, and that's the mother's spirit. Also, the missing number glitch, you know of that, where you can use it, you can find him on the side of the island, and it's a messed up graphic. What happens is missing number is put in place when there's no Pokedex entry for something. And they say actually in Japan that was the evolved form, that was the Marowak that evolved from Cubone. And that's why it exists as a thing. And that's the reason that there was an extra Pokedex entry. It just was never meant to be registered. I think that one's the M
like
one.
An alternate form?
Well, though there's two of them actually. Now that I think about it, missing number isn't that. There's M that evolves into a Marowak actually, I believe, and that's what it is. It's the Cubone entry that was removed and replaced with our Cubone, and then missing number is just because you last went to Professor Oak and the Cinnabar Island doesn't have a cache, so it takes the cache from the last place you were, which was the training thing. So no Pokedex. So those are how both of those work.
Okay, I see. I never knew why missing number came up the way it did in that particular shape.
There's actually a lot of interesting stuff I'm not going to go into, but they did studies on this, on human psychology because of that.
Really?
About the fact that people exploited that as a glitch, but didn't consider it cheating because it was part of the game, and why people liked the game more because of that.
Well, I'm okay with people using glitches. In fact, I'm okay with people cheating.
But honestly, now that we're on this, when you look at that glitch, do you really consider it cheating, or is it just part of the game, right? Like, it's cheating in the fact you got unlimited, but do you care? Do you care in the way you'd care if someone just put in a code?
I didn't notice it until after I had 148 of 150.
Exactly. No, you'd already beaten the game by that point. You caught Pokemon. Why not get unlimited Master Balls and just still try to fill out your Pokedex?
Mostly because I didn't realize, in the first Pokemon, you didn't realize that Master Ball was a one-time-a-game thing.
I realized it when I looked at it and I was like, it was like a rocket launcher back then. I used to never use power weapons, so I didn't use my Master Ball even on Mewtwo, and it was freaking possible to take him down, and I killed him like 20 times before I caught him.
I want to point out, I just gave Jordan the fist bump for that. He deserved that.
No, it's seriously, like, I say 20, but honestly, I was a long time ago. Like, I went for like a day and a half trying to catch him because I would feint him and have to reboot, which is basically the same as multiplying Master Balls, but not an easy thing. He was asleep, paralyzed, everything.
Oh, God. Yeah, I used my Master Ball and a Ditto.
Now that I think about it, that's the same that happened to Ryan, and I laughed because me and Ryan, he had blue, I had red, and we played them simultaneously because we were brothers. Yeah, and we got the Master Ball, and I knew because of him doing that. Now that I think about it, so I probably would have effed up too. He caught, and it wasn't someone as dumb as like a Ditto, but it was like,
thank you.
It was I want to say it was one of the three birds, but I think it was someone a little less epic, but it was something like still reasonable to catch it with. But at the same time, like
there's
then you hit
nothing
Mewtwo.
Reasonable except for
Mewtwo. He's the reason they made that. Yes.
So what I was saying before, how I was too poor when I was a kid and I couldn't afford, like, I would never, everyone else was playing the game Pokemon and I couldn't, and it made me sad. So I have got a Game Boy, and I've got other games that are tier. So the Lord Jesus Christ saved me, and I was walking from my house to the gas station.
How can this make any sense?
As I do. from time to time when I was a kid, because it was super close, and I would always go there and get my drinks and what have you. Anyways, as I'm walking back, I found red version just there. And it was in the gutter, and it had been raining. It was raining that day. So I'm like, obviously this doesn't work. So I take it home, I wipe it off, I do the thing, I blow into it, and I put it in there, boom, and then it worked. And as I look, I see Barry, and I go, well, he's done, and then I started playing.
You buried Barry?
Yep.
Oh, wait.
Is that Barry from Taco Bell? Because I like Barry.
I like that. He buried Barry.
Wait. Did you ever blow in cartridges for anything other than NES?
Sega. Genesis?
Okay,
Like
Genesis.
crazy, yeah. And Nintendo 64.
I never had to do it for
Game Boy? Game Boy wasn't as bad, though.
I never had to do it for anything but NES.
But hold on, though. Speaking of Pokemon games and stories of finding them. So I had my red version, which I lost maybe 2 years ago, and I don't know how, and I'm pissed because I still have my original Mewtwo and Blastoise on that. But, no, I know. It was hard. Trust me. I was super pissed.
You didn't see that, but Bruce just put his hand on
Dude,
Jordan's
I
shoulder
moved.
lovingly.
I moved. So my whole house was tore apart. There was no furniture, anything, and I couldn't find that. I knew it was there the summer before and hadn't been removed. But anyway, when I was a child, I dropped that in the toilet. And, of course, I pulled it out, and it still functioned, and I used it for years after that.
Right,
That is
Nintendo
post-use toilet, too. Every one of you would have done the same thing. Glove up and get that son of a bitch.
Wait, you took the time to put a glove on?
Yes. Because there was conveniently a glove because we had just cleaned.
Okay.
It was a nice rubber glove, but no, I didn't, it was coming out if I'd used my teeth. I mean, seriously. I wasn't losing Farfetch'd, Blastoise, and Mewtwo. I needed those guys. They were my class.
Actually, no, I don't.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't get a happy ending.
So we're about reaching the time here. So let's just recap, not on the things that we've talked about, but the things that we've got going on in the future. We've made a Facebook page for the Great Amalgamation.
So like that shit.
Like it, and keep checking it if you haven't seen the stuff being posted, because I will post all of the YouTube stuff that gets put on YouTube, and I will put links to all of the podcasts so you can find it in one place. Mm-hmm. And soon, hopefully sooner rather than later, we will have our own website.
Yeah, hopefully.
And we'll probably put some merch out later, maybe in like a year.
Maybe like 3 years?
Yeah,
You're getting ambitious on us right on live air now.
Oh, hey, I've been making some duct tape wallets we can sell.
Ooh, duct tape wallets. Is Skyly helping?
She is.
That is child labor. You can't advertise that. Oh my god.
No, it's father-daughter time, Jordan. Now hurry up, girl, and make more wallets for Daddy.
Before I spit my Mountain Dew, what most people call child labor, Bruce calls bonding. Like bond that soccer ball.
Daddy, I'm having real fun time. Well, that's nice, Sky, but we got to get our quota of 50 a day. So
if you're having a fun time, Haji, you're not working hard enough. No, make more soccer balls and
Work
bullets.
faster, Haji.
all right.
Wait, I also have to point out that we're going to be starting a series of videos that is going to be us doing challenges that viewers comment on the videos or send us a comment on Facebook, anywhere. We're going to do a series of videos that's going to be called Side Quests, working title. It might be called something different by the time we put it out. But what it's going to be is in a game, all the little extra stuff that you could do, we're going to want people to try to challenge us to do. For example, the first one that we're going to try doing is doing a Resident Evil 6 mission, unprofessional, later in the game with only melee attacks, trying to make it through. That includes flying enemies if they come up.
Wait, who thought of that one? We were out of bullets at the end of the game. We did everything with almost all melee attacks.
Well, okay, I thought of that one.
Started with guns. You know,
We had them, yeah, I guess, periodically.
We didn't run out of ammo. We had a grenade, as Jordan said.
Yeah, what was it? Like, we got to fight. I killed all the zombies. We're both out of bullets. I'm like, I had one bullet, and it was a grenade. That was my quote.
So that's an example, but it can be pretty much any challenge you want to throw at us or something weird that you want us to try to attempt.
Yeah, put your comments out there. And it doesn't have to be a legit quest. It could be something randomly that you thought of, like kill all the bosses in Borderlands or do something, blah, blah, blah. If there's something that seems challenging or that seems fun or interesting for me and Bruce to fail at, then by all means, comment on it.
I once played all 4 Rock Band instruments at once.
We're not doing that.
1 foot DDR, what's up?
See, I'm not going to be doing that just because
I might
don't have them
handstand.
anymore.
I might handstand DDR.
Handstand DDR. I can't even do 1 or 2 foot DDR, let alone handstand.
All right, well, we're getting past the top of the hour.
All right, so I think I know how we should end this.
I don't like how we're going to end this.
All right. So
If there's any noise that was coming in like 4 minutes ago, it's because I was pouring these. So we will catch you next week. Like, subscribe, comment, blah, 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 1, 2, 3 shot.
oh, God, it still tastes like cherry.
I'm all out of dew, guys. I'm all out of dew.
Oh, here, use it.
Thank you, Bruce.
You're welcome. Oh, God.
Oh, God, I'm dying.
Oh, the dew doesn't help. I forgot.
I don't like it.
I forgot that the dew makes it worse. Oh, it's like
Why can't you have anything other than cherry? You're a sick bastard, and I fucking hate you. 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 And I fucking hate you.